Welcome back to more F1 2017 here. This is the Hungarian Grand Prix of Season 2, and our consistent results have paid off because we've got ourselves another sponsor bonus of 750 more resource points, and that is going to help us as we work to continue to building up this car a little bit more. We've got a couple more upgrades I'm eyeing up in the pipeline, and of course we have the ultimate power upgrade coming at the Italian Grand Prix, which is of course after the Hungarian Grand Prix. Not the next round, but the round after that. So, Hungary. Interesting track. You would think it would suit our car, but the AI around here, I don't know what it is. They are so fast. Just so quick. We jump into qualifying. Our opening account opener, as it were, is a 120.3. It puts us behind Stroll and ahead of Wehrlein, so that kind of goes to show how bad it was. We go for another run. We come out the final corner. It's 7 tenths faster. That puts us P15. We've got enough fuel and enough time for one more lap. So here we go. First sector. It's 2 tenths up. We flick it in to turn 5, run the curve, bring it all the way around turn 5. I had to drop it down to standard in the middle sector, and then I could bump it up to max as we got near the final sector, running to the ragged edge of limit as we are 4 tenths up as we come into the final sector. And I personally think I took this the best that I had all weekend. Just the confidence I had in the car with the consistent runs, knowing when I could get on the throttle for those 2 corners, and then chucking it into the final corner, let it drop to about 85. I got on the throttle a little bit too early, punched it out of the final corner. It's another 4 tenths improvement. It puts us P8 for that moment. With a minute left in the session, we go to the end and we do drop to 11th place, unfortunately. So as we know, the AI are very good at the final bit of qualifying, but Alonso still just consistently getting those top 10s. And you know what? I'll take 11th. We were 1,000th faster than Grosjean, and it means we're able to build our own strategy. So with that in mind, I haven't enjoyed our one-stop luck recently. Yes, we've got consistent points, but the car hasn't been feeling great on the one-stop luck. Austria, we were slow and the tyre wear was bad. We ran, obviously, the hardest tyre, the medium, in Britain, and the car was just atrocious on it. So as such, I'm electing for the 2-stop. Is that going to work out for us? We're going to go a set of soft, super soft, soft. That's the plan. For this weekend, for this Hungarian Grand Prix. You would think it's going to suit our car, but believe me, the AI were very quick around here. I just didn't appear to have any sort of pace in practice or qualifying. But let's see what we can do in the race as we have 5 red lights. Lights are out and away we go for Season 2 in the Hungarian Grand Prix. And as it has been recently, we've got a shocking start. We've had one of the Haas cars, Grosjean, pull alongside us. We're forced to the outside. Normally we'd like to try and make a move on the inside. Have to take a bit of avoiding action against the Ferrari of Kimi Räikkönen. Means we've actually made no positions off the start, but we have successfully defended 11th place. As we now come into turn 2, we're going to have an opening. Hulkenberg not coming across the road in any way. So that's us up into P10. And now we've got everyone ahead of us is going to be on the super soft tyre. So it's now about what we can do up ahead of the field. Vettel leads the way, 2 Mercs, 2 Ferraris, then Alonso battling the Force Indias just there as we now come through. Räikkönen, we squeeze him out of the way, sort of a little bit of contact wheel to wheel between the Ferrari and myself. We get through on Kimi Räikkönen, then we have Perez in 6th, Alonso 7th, so we've got Force India, McLaren, Force India, McLaren, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th on the road. As we come to the end of the first lap, we've run it wider than penultimate corner. Räikkönen just jumps on us like a shark that smells blood. Not going to lose out on the opportunity. We try and force him wide, but the Ferrari's got such superior grip, such superior downforce. It then becomes a drag race through to turn 1, and we're defending more than we're attacking. I should also point out I am running an older engine for this Grand Prix because Hungary's not really that much of a power circuit, so I figured I would really get away with an older power unit. But we squeeze out Räikkönen at the beginning of lap 2, and then we've made a horrific mistake into turn 2. That's going to allow the Finn to dive it down the inside. Can we try and hold it through the right-hander? Yes, we can. Räikkönen lifts off, wants to live to fight another day, and we come to the end of lap 3, and you can see what I mean about the AI's pace. Ocon and Alonso and Perez have just driven away from us Even though we do a 23.9, we're already 2.5 seconds behind Ocon, and Raikkonen going to be making the move down the inside as lap 4 begins. We've left him the room. The car just won't turn in. The Ferrari's got such superior speed. He does slightly tap our front wing, but we don't get any damage. Oh no, we do get damage on that exchange. My apologies. I can't really see it visually, but the team have advised we are now carrying some front wing damage, and do you know what? I could feel it. Look at it through the right hander. Just such horrific understeer as we tried to go through. Hulkenberg has now managed to get through, so Raikkonen clearly lost out at some point during that lap. I believe that would have been through the right hander where we re-overtook him, but now we're just trying to defend, and the car just felt ugly. Like, we're not on the hardest compound of tyre available, but the car just through any sort of corner. The front end did not want to go in. And as such, look at the train of cars that we are holding up. We've got Raikkonen, of course, just behind us. We've got Hulkenberg. We've got probably through to 15th, all queued up behind us, just with how slow we are going. And then we're going to try and come into the second sector. We've run it out wide, and just look at the horrible understeer as we go wide. That allows Raikkonen through. He's now up into 9th place. It allows Hulkenberg to have a little look down there inside. Contact made with a Renault. I think Hulkenberg stuck his nose in. I'm not really sure. I'm probably going to have to take the blame on that one. I would say I wasn't really expecting him to sort of stick out with that move. I wasn't all the way over to the left-hand side. I was sort of middle of the road, so I'll hold my hands up. Sorry for that one there, Nico. That was more than likely my fault. Had to be very aggressive recently with my driving. You can see now, lap 7 onto lap 8. Raikkonen has just disappeared into the distance. We're defending 10th place from Romain Grosjean, who I feel as if we've been seeing a lot more recently in these career mode videos. And then I don't know why I started flicking through my cameras at the end of lap 10 as Grosjean has another run on us. And that's Verstappen coming out of the pits on a super soft tyre. So once again, the Red Bull team going on the two-stop. We're, of course, on the same strategy. Grosjean sort of, throws up the hand of rage, as it were. We're going to now go down the inside. He locks up horrifically, just bottles the move into turn 2. He then pulls in front of, that was one of the Ferrari. Was that Raikkonen or was that Vettel? I'm not 100% sure. No, Vettel was still ahead of us on the road. So that is going to be Kimi Raikkonen, who's going to have made his first pit stop. I believe he is going to be on a two-stop strategy. And my lap 11, I've had enough. I'm coming into the pits, and you can even see that just into the pit lane. I cannot slow the car down and cannot get it to turn in. And it was at this moment, or it was just obviously leading up to this pit stop, I decided the two-stop was not going to work. I have zero pace around this track, so as such, we're going to fit the medium tyre, get a new front wing, and we're going to go to the end of the Grand Prix. At this point, I was thinking the race is pretty much a write-off. We're down to 15th place at the moment. Not really anything I can do. Like, I've got no magical pace, just nothing. There's not even like a small section of the track I'm good at. It was just, yeah, I had nothing. So the team tell me I still have one stop left, because realistically this tyre shouldn't do 23 laps, but it's going to do it. Anyway, lap 13, we come up behind Jolyon Palmer once again. I feel as if he's, always public enemy number 1 when we make a pit stop. So we chuck it down the inside of Palmer, get past him, and that is us up into 16th or 15th, whatever position it was at the time. Massa's going slowly on lap 14. That means he's just unsighted Stroll, who's locked up horrifically well. Admittedly keeping the car very under control, much better than Grosjean did earlier on in the race. But now come lap 14 with the yellow flags, now the green flags. Stroll is in 13th. He's the next one up ahead of us. That's how far Alonso is ahead of us. We finished sector 1 and Alonso is into the pits, but we sort of forced Stroll out of the way. No contact made though, so much cleaner than anything we did versus Hulkenberg. You can see they're sort of sliding the car through the chicane. And unfortunately, then you hear that Hulkenberg's out the race. And then we hear about Ocon coming out the pits. So Ocon has fit the mediums. He's clearly on the one stop as well. And he's behind us. So I can only assume Ocon ran 2 sets of supers and has now gone on to the mediums. It's a very odd strategy, I have to say. Because Danny Kvyat now comes out. This is lap 16. We've still got half the race to go. In fact, over half the race left to go. Kvyat comes out on the super softs. He's behind us. He has to pit again. Grosjean's ahead of us on the road. He's on super softs, and he has to pit again. So I think a lot of the AI have actually gone for a two-stop strategy. So at this point, I'm like, maybe this one stop wasn't bad. We've passed someone else as we come across the line. So now this is the battle between myself and Danny Kvyat for 10th place. Kvyat has got the better of us on that exchange. Can we look to do anything into turn 2? We're going to lunge it down the inside, as we have always done. And if we run it out wide, let's try and hope and make it stick. But Kvyat, like everyone else, it appears the AI are having issues into turn 2 with locking up. But Grosjean's ahead of us in 9th place as well. So he's got to make another pit stop. So provided we don't lose too much time to Grosjean, it's going to be the battle for 9th place. So after looking not very promising, we might get something out of this Grand Prix. But anyway, Kvyat sends it down the inside once again. And he's going to make some contact with us as we now head down towards turn 2. It's a bit more side by side than it has been before. We've got a Haas and the other Toro Rosso there behind us. We're going to go round the outside. Danny Kvyat tries to turn it in. We force him out wide. That's going to allow Kevin Magnussen, who's also going to the end of this Grand Prix on the medium tyre, through. But Sainz, of course, then gets past him. Sainz on the super soft. So both Toro Rossos yet to pit again. Myself and Kevin Magnussen. No more pit stops left to make. Sainz has got a good run on us, though, through the final, or the penultimate corner, through the final corner. He's going to try and hold it like Kimi Räikkönen did. The Toro Rosso just doesn't have the downforce, though, that the Ferrari did. And because we were technically behind Sainz, we've managed to get ourselves a little dose of DRS down the pit straight. So, thankfully, that's going to allow us to defend into turn 1. I now don't know what tyres these cars are going to be going on, so we've of course got ourselves. Sainz is still got to make a pit stop as well. That's Grosjean, I believe, the car actually just up the road from us. They're going into turn 2 now, so I'm probably going to be concerned about him coming back at us at the end of this Grand Prix. But you can see here, Sainz has sort of dropped off by lap 26. He's made his pit stop. Magnussen wasn't really able to challenge us. You can see here that Perez has made his pit stop and was in the pits last time around, so he's now completely out of our reach. Magnussen's not really bothering us too much. His pace wasn't all that hot the later it got into the Grand Prix. Come the end of lap 28, though, we do actually have, like, look at this, we're 7 laps from home and we're already getting blue flags. We look behind us now, so we've got Ocon, who's obviously made his pit stop, Magnussen, who's going to challenge us. I've got to worry about trying to let Lewis Hamilton, the race leader, through as well, while Magnussen thinks, thank you very much, I'll have a spot of 9th place. So no, we're not going to allow it to happen. We go very deep into turn 1, very tight line, and now I think we're nice and safe. We haven't got to worry about those guys. No, Ocon and Magnussen are battling, so we'll take the opportunity to allow Lewis Hamilton through, who then, the same as everyone else, even a world champion is locking up into turn 2 and sliding wide, and he's now got to re-lap us 3 cars. So I don't know what it is going into that corner, but we pull it out wide at the final corner. Hamilton has got much better straight line speed than us. We just sort of lightly feather the throttle a couple of times to let Lewis through. Nearly crashed into him there, actually, so probably a good thing I was watching my mirrors. I then took turn 1 awfully, and now Ocon's going to have another run at us here on the mediums going towards the end of the Grand Prix. His tyres are, of course, a lot fresher than mine. Send it down the inside, tiny bit of tyre-to-tyre contact there. But we need to be bold. I think that's why we're able to get these points finishes, just due to our very aggressive strategy when it comes to attacking other cars. But there we let Bottas through. The second Mercedes, Hamilton's quite a long way in the distance there. So a Mercedes 1-2. Vettel was originally leading the Grand Prix. He has dropped to 3rd place, and it's now Ocon that's actually trying to get past us as this race progresses here. And we've got Vettel, of course, as well, trying to lap us. Ocon's lost a lot of time in that exchange, so I like to think that helped me at the back end of this Grand Prix. The AI weren't very good at letting the other AI through to lap them, so we're going to run it out a little bit wide. Just allow Vettel to close up on us through the final sector, and then we're going to just send it wide in the final corner, allow Vettel to sweep through and tactically play it, cut into his slipstream, and that will obviously let us help defend with only 2 laps left to go against Ocon. And he's not really close enough, obviously, to have a go into turn 1 or turn 2, which is where I've had to do a lot of my defending this race. It's really the only overtaking opportunity on the circuit. And here we go, onto the final lap of the Grand Prix. Speaking of turn 1 and overtaking opportunities, we go to the right, where Ocon has a look. We now tries to go to the left. Bit of contact made, just saw the car violently react under braking, where Ocon hit us. We've then got Magnussen and Roman Grosjean, so it's a 4-car train battling for 9th place. Who's going to finish 9th and 10th and get some points in this Grand Prix? Ocon goes wide trying to overtake us. Is that going to allow the Haas of Magnussen through? Yes, it is. Magnussen now comes ahead of us, but there's nowhere else on the circuit for one of them to be able to have a go. And once again, for another race, it's coming through for more championship points.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today.
So Hamilton wins that from Valtteri Bottas, Sebastian Vettel coming home in third, with Daniel Ricciardo fourth, Verstappen fifth, Alonso, once again, he's getting consistent with his point-scoring finishes in sixth and utilised the one-stop probably a lot better than I did, finishing way up the road. Raikkonen with a 3-stop in 7th, Perez 8th, myself 9th, and Kevin Magnussen in 10th place there. It was still a bit of a disappointing one for me, considering, you know, like I say, it's points, and I'm always happy with points, but bear in mind we've got 12 points between 2nd and 5th in the Drivers' World Championship, and I like to think, we can be part of that scrap. But we're still third. Obviously, Red Bull gained a bit on us this weekend, which, you know, is what it is at the end of the day, unfortunately. Let's just sort of hope we can continue with the point streak, maybe get a little bit higher up there, you know, try and aim for more sort of, you know, our 5th and 6th is that Alonso's been getting recently, and I'm not going to be annoyed that Alonso is finally getting some decent points finishes. But that has been the Hungarian Grand Prix. Leave a like if you did enjoy and comment and feedback down below. Remember to hit subscribe to enable notifications about the contents coming to the channel so you don't miss a video. Next up is Belgium, the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, the driver's circuit in Formula 1. I love driving there, and I'll see you next time.